Hello, hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our APU and Industry Career Live webinar. My name is Ryan from Asia Pacific University APU, and I will be your MC for this session. All right. So, how's everyone? I hope everyone watching this, you're fine and safe now. You can actually comment at below, whether you're watching on Facebook Live or YouTube. Just say hello to all of us. All right, you can just say hi, let us know whether you're fine or not. Okay, so right, today is the third day of our APU and Industry Career live webinar session, which is also the last day of the events. So we have covered a few areas of study in last 2 days, such as AI, big data, fintech, design, engineering, psychology, and also digital marketing, of course, and more lah. All right. So for those who have missed out previous sessions, don't worry. You can feel free to watch the replay from our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Okay, but in case you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel or haven't followed us on our Facebook page, do follow us and subscribe to our channel. All right, and of course today we're going to have five more webinar session today. So today we'll be covering in few of like cybersecurity and digital forensic, business studies, AR/VR, actuarial studies, and also game development. All right. So, of course, we will also like to invite all of our participants today, to also join our APU e-Open Day. All right. So, by joining our e-Open Days, you can actually be guided by all our counselors throughout all the pathway available for your further studies. All right. Of course, for more information and updates, you can visit our website at apu.edu.my or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube channel. All right. Okay. So for the topic of this current webinar, this current live stream, is about careers in cybersecurity and digital forensic. Right. So the demand in cybersecurity and digital forensic is getting higher and higher, like almost every day. Okay, especially with the industry revolution 4.0 era, IR 4.0 era is here now. And of course, because of this COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of us, like basically most of us, are spending a lot of time on digital platform. I believe many of you who are watching our live stream right now, you have a Facebook account or you have a IG, Instagram account. I believe some of you have also online banking account. You have your e-wallet account, and you probably also store a lot of documents and photos on cloud server. And of course, we want all our accounts and all our information are well protected. Can you imagine all your money in your bank account or e-wallet just gone because of the hacker hacked your account, right? I believe none of you want this happen on yourself, right? So which is why the demand in cybersecurity and digital forensic are getting higher and higher. All right. So today we are proud to have three speakers joining us for this live stream. The first one will be Miss Supriya. Miss Supriya is the head of School of Technology at APU. All right. Hi, Miss Supriya.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Then the second speaker will be Dr. Julia. Dr. Julia is our lecturer for our cybersecurity and digital forensic program at APU. Hi, Dr. Julia. Okay. Hi. Okay. Anyway, then the third speaker will be Mr. Hon. Mr. Hon is the CEO of NetAssist. That is a company that provides cybersecurity services in Malaysia and many other countries. All right. Let us invite Mr. Hon. Hi, Mr. Hon.
Hi, good morning, everybody. It's an honor to be here. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. All right. So let me pass all the session to this session to all three of you. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan, and a very, very good morning, everyone. A warm welcome to this webinar. Like what Ryan just introduced, all three of us, my name is Supriya Singh. I'm the head of School of Technology in APU. And with me is Dr. Julia. She is one of the lecturers on the undergrad and postgrad programs for our digital forensics and cybersecurity programs. She is also the head of the research center for forensics and cybersecurity. So that's Dr. Julia for you. And today we have our esteemed guest here, Mr. Hon, the CEO of NetAssist. Now, NetAssist, as many of us know, is a leading cybersecurity solutions provider. They offer cybersecurity services, whole lot of programs, trainings, etc. Right? So, Mr. Han, a couple of words from you as well.
Hi, thank you very much for the great introduction. In fact, I've been actually from time to time receiving students from APU uh, for for industry training, as well as actually, in fact, I have some of the students now is already become our permanent staff. We actually really
Excellent.
seriously, cybersecurity is in demand. We are looking for talent like this. Yeah.
Wonderful, great, wonderful. It's see this session today is pretty good because you have both the academia and you have the industry expert here who will be talking about. I mean, both of us would be actually sharing the landscape of the various technologies out there, and then homing in on cybersecurity and digital forensics in terms of the skills gap that we are seeing all over globally, and of course the kind of careers and job prospects all of you could get into if you were to do a degree in cybersecurity and forensics, right? Now, before I start, the very two terms, cybersecurity and digital forensics, for many of you, the school leavers, right? You might think, what's the difference between the two? You know, it's one and the same, isn't it? But well, they are common in a certain way that both focus on protection of digital assets and intelligence. So that's common between the two. But how are they different? Well, cybersecurity talks about prevention, and computer forensics or digital forensics talks about the response when an attack has already happened, in terms of ensuring that the evidence from your devices, from your data, is in no way compromised, and it's probably in the best shape possible to be produced in, if required, in the court of law, right? So that's just a gist of what cybersecurity and digital forensics is all about. And if Ryan could help us with the slides, we are ready to start. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah. The next one, please. So before we go on to the digital forensics and cybersecurity areas, let's talk about what's happening in the disruptive world, the various technologies out there, how rapid changes are being seen right now, right? So according to the World Economic Forum 2020, it says that there's been a double disruption since last year. One, of course, thanks to the COVID pandemic, where, because of the recession globally across most countries, right? That's one. The other one is the automation, where lots of jobs have been taken away from humans and it's being taken over by machines. So that's a major disruption, a double disruption that we're seeing. Number two, according to the World Economic Forum, they say that by 2025, 85, could you just go back to the previous slide? 85 million jobs are going to be redundant, are going to be displaced, and 97 million new roles would be emerging. So that's how dynamic and disruptive the technological landscape is right now. All right. The next one, please. Right. So many jobs being filled in today did not exist 20 years ago. And I think we all can agree on the fact that now, when we look at jobs such as a cloud engineer or a data engineer or a data scientist or a pen tester or a cybersecurity analyst, who could have ever thought that 20 years back, we're going to be having these kind of jobs, which are the most sought after? And the same thing goes for, in the next 10 years. Again, it's going to be something similar, where 60% of the jobs are going to be totally new, right? So what you're studying for right now perhaps might not be fully relevant, but that's another thing where we're going to tell you about how your fundamentals, how your basics, how your entire study period during your degree is so crucial to get you ready to be adaptable to all the various disruptions that we plan to see in the near future, right? The next one, please. Right. So if I'm looking at the technologies likely to be adopted by 2025, I think it's very, very evident. We all have been hearing, we've been reading a lot Cloud computing definitely is the one technology that's been adopted the most, right? So if I look from 2018, expected to grow by 2025, cloud computing definitely, followed by big data, then is of course Internet of Things, and then you have cybersecurity. But if you look at the percentage of adoption across all these technologies, I don't know if you're able to actually view it. I mean, if the font size is not too small, there's a 29% adoption where cybersecurity is concerned. And the reason being that most enterprises now are getting onto the cloud, right? And where Industrial Revolution 4.0 is concerned, where you talk about cloud computing, where you talk about mobile technology, where you talk about IoT or interconnectivity of devices, where you have your smartwatches, your smartphones, your intelligent offices, your intelligent buildings, all of these fantastic. But then it's leading you or exposing you to a lot of malware attacks and other cyber attacks as well. And that's where enterprises now are rushing towards ensuring, that they have the cybersecurity installed in their organizations, in their network, in their applications, and just to ensure that they're fully fortified. All right. Next, please. Right. And then, of course, because of the fact that everyone's grappling towards cybersecurity, we find that across the globe, all right, not just the Asia Pacific region, across the globe, there's a huge, big skills gap where the cybersecurity workforce is concerned. And I think MDEC, which is Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation, which is the arm of the Malaysian government, right, which looks into the digitalization of the Malaysian economy, right? They are very worried, and they put in a lot of steps in the last few years in ensuring that this gap that we see very, very prominent, yeah, gap between what's the demand and what currently is the supply in terms of the skills in cybersecurity, that gap needs to be narrowed down, right? Now, if I look at the APAC region itself, we've got a shortage of nearly 2 million cybersecurity workforce. And the rest of the world, whether it's North America, whether it's Latin America, whether it's Europe, it comprises about the rest of that 1 million. So huge, huge skills gap. MDEC has put in a lot of provisions trying to act as, coming in as a tripartite agreement between MDEC, um, academia, and the industry to ensure that trainings and programs are put in place to ensure that more of cybersecurity experts are joining the workforce. All right, next, please. Right, a few more statistics to just tell you exactly how severe this problem is. So, this is the global cybercrime damage by 2021, right? It says that per day, it says 16.4 billion US dollars per day would be the kind of cybercrime damage that's going to be seen by 2021, which is this year, right? Which amounts to about 684 million US dollars per hour, 11 million US dollars per minute, and 190,000 US dollars per second. All right. For 2021, it's estimated that the cybercrime damage is going to cost us close to 6 trillion US dollars. And then if you look at a few more statistics on the right hand side here, they're saying that the kind of cybersecurity job postings that employers are getting on to, right, has increased by 74%, right? And then right at the bottom here, it says Forbes, the top 10 digital transformation trends for 2021. What they are saying is just that little time, between January to April of last year, just when the pandemic had hit most of us, right? They're saying that there was a hike of 238% rise in attacks on banks, right? And a 600% increase in attacks on cloud servers, right? Just that period alone. So you can well imagine, because all of us went online, every industry had to then scramble and get on to, changing their way of operating. We in academia went totally online, as everybody knows, right? Whether it's teaching, learning, whether assessments. So because of that, attacks, etc., malware, etc., was free for all. And that's where you realize that, it is a very, very serious situation where we need to ensure that skills, expertise is very much in place to ensure all of this is taken care of. All right. Next one, please. Yeah, now this is something we got from MTech as well, and this is through Frost and Sullivan. It's a slightly dated, it's 2017 survey report from Frost and Sullivan, which talks about the average monthly salary in Ringgit Malaysia, right? Across graduates coming out of universities from various programs. So if I look at a fresh graduate coming in, joining the industry, right, a cybersecurity against a BDA, that's big data, right, is around 2000 plus, right? Then immediately when you go to 1 to 3 years of experience in the industry, the student or the graduate or the employee who now is a cybersecurity employee with a couple of years of experience, it comes to about 4,650 monthly salary in ringgits, right? Which goes up to 7,000 plus between 4 to 7 years, and then close to about 10,000. I think probably Mr. Hon would have a better idea about the salary figures because he's the one who's actually deciding how much to pay our current graduates. But yes, feel free to add in. I'm sure since 2017, situation has become better. Yeah, Mr. Hon, what do you think?
Indeed, it's getting much better because the organization are snatching for talent.
Yes,
So and due to the low in supply, so actually organization has to actually up their offer. Cybersecurity talent are much better paid than other network engineer, even application developers at the same level
absolutely.
of experience, the years of experience.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. The next one, please. And then, if you talk about the cybersecurity skills, which are the fastest growing, right? That means based on the kind of postings, employer postings, employers have posted for jobs, right? Within the cybersecurity area would be application development security, which has gone in leaps and bounds to about 164%. All right. With cloud security close behind it at 116%, if I can see it correctly, right? So, what's application development security? So, application development security is basically where we try to ensure that we develop, we add, and we test security features while we are actually preparing or creating those various applications to basically prevent security vulnerabilities, right? And threats. And cloud security, on the other hand, is to ensure that that the data and the applications and the infrastructure that's hosted on the cloud is basically safe from any kind of threats or any kind of malware attacks, right? So that's the sequence in which the kind of requirement of graduates is being looked at. And then if you look at the salary figure, there it says that an application development security professional would get something around 12,000 US dollars, right? And down it goes to about, yeah, the rest of it. So you can see that the average monthly salary of a cybersecurity skills expert is definitely very high, and it's a area to be seriously looking into. All right. So next one, please. And I think now I'm going to pass it on to Dr. Julia. Over to you, Dr. Julia.
I think the okay. Right. Thanks, Supriya. So, as just to add up, continuous to what Supriya has shared just now, is on basically on the list of job available in cybersecurity, and most of us already aware and know that the cyber criminals are rapidly growing in today's digital world. Definitely, they are targeting our information system, our data, and definitely for financial gains or probably for other personal or hatred interests. So, hence, what I want to highlight is the importance of the field of digital forensics, and these skills in digital forensics is greatly in demand nowadays. So organizations are basically looking forward to digital forensics experts to be part of their incident response team. So a typical digital forensic expert, if you're asking, they basically work with the law enforcement agency, work with or together with the law enforcement agencies on cases like concerning offences committed to the cybercrime, all those cases involving internet. They will examine the computers or digital devices that been happening and been used in many types of the crime, and they'll need to find all those evidences of the illegal activities. So these are among the job scope of a digital forensic experts. So the unique and sensitive nature of the work performed by these digital forensic experts made the job highly demanding. And it is must have for an organizations that are dealing with users confidential and personal information. So looking at the slides, okay, with all the endless possibilities of this field, the job market is also continually growing. So as you can see from the slide, based on the global digital forensic market, it is estimated to reach 7 billion US dollar by the year of 2024. However, just to share, probably none of you will understand on the graph over there, the average salary. Okay, but perhaps Mr. Hon will know more about that. But I guess the average salary in the field of computer forensic itself is basically around 74 to 75K per year. So the field of digital forensic has basically an array of subspecialties. Okay, and thus the average salary of forensic investigator not only depends on what they are specialized in, but also depending on several other factors, okay, which includes definitely your experience level, okay, your education level, the geographic region, definitely, and the type of industry, whether you are involving with the working with the government or the private sector. So in the field of digital forensic or computer forensic, um, let's take an example. The entry level position with probably less than 5 years of experience can expect to earn average total of perhaps 58 to 60K, uh, while employees with mid level position with few years experience can expect average of 85 to 90K, um, and so goes to the top level position. So government agencies basically spending a lot on cyber forensics, cybersecurity forensics in recruiting more employees from forensic background in order to prepare them for any cyber incident response and recovery team. So as private sectors are also being targeted, so the need for forensic expert is also being raised in the private sectors as well. And I think the overall growth of the forensic market is already depicted in the illustration being shown in the slide. As everyone can see, it is an escalating trend. Thus, the demand for professionals trained in this area, digital forensic area, is expected to grow further in the future. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, next will be the skills required. Okay, but the skills required to become a cyber forensic expert being listed here in the slides, but not limited to what being listed, definitely. So skills are crucial when you decide to pursue a career in cyber forensics, definitely. Okay, as you can see, the first one will be the technical aptitude. So having a proper understanding of the working of digital devices itself, the technical concepts lying behind it, ability to work in a various technical platforms from computers to mobile devices to IoT devices, basically what the job entails lah. Okay, so it is only when you possess the sound technical knowledge of these areas, then you can identify and respond to the security breaches, hacks effectively. Okay, and others will be on networking knowledge, definitely operating system knowledge. So as a forensic investigator, the knowledge of computer networking, The server, definitely the type of the operating system and platform that you're working on is important. So knowledge of law and investigation, definitely. So since digital forensic deals with cyber crimes, so the knowledge of criminal law and investigation will be an added advantage, definitely. So the job role doesn't demand a law qualification, okay, but the procedure of crime investigations can be gained through other channels, such as online reading, group discussions, and a good understanding of white collar crime, criminal law, investigation will be an added advantage. Communication skills, I think communication skills is very important, not only in cybersecurity related job scope, but in other area or domains of work as well. So communication skills, if you're focusing on digital forensics, are essential, as you need to convey the technical information concisely to those from different levels of technical comprehension. So digital forensic investigators, they normally work in teams, okay, and this is where your communication skills play an important role. Okay, you need to deliver the process of action. You need to make sure the details, the findings of each phases are being passed accurately among your team members. And then you may also have to explain your findings to others that are not basically from the technical background. And sometimes you even have to present your findings in the courtroom, okay, as part of the case proceeding. Okay, and definitely willingness to learn. Okay, willingness to learn, since cybersecurity is constantly evolving, and so does digital forensic. So anyone taking up this profession, any profession within cybersecurity domain, should constantly upgrade to the latest trends and technologies, okay, to assure a better job prospect. Continuous learning, okay, and self-education, both on and off clock, essential traits lah for the digital forensic industry. So me myself also still keep attending all those kind of training, certification programs, either theoretically or practical, just to keep myself updated with the current technologies, with the current malware, with the current cyber attacks, and so on. All right. So moving on to the next slide, I think I'll pass to Mr. Hon to share more with all of you on the cyber landscape, types of cyber attacks out there.
Thank you. In fact, according to the World Economic Forums, every year they will list down what are the top challenges, risks that a business and the world and the country has to face with. So you will see that actually consecutively for the last few years, you will notice that cyber security failure is among the top 5 dangers and highest risks that one must deal with, apart from, of course, now is that the pandemic diseases, the livelihood crisis. Even now, you see that cybersecurity is a bigger problem than a terror attack. So that is actually, put it in another aspect, is that this is a good prospect for career development, because no matter what the world change, how the world change, there is always bad guy, and when there's bad guy, they need cybersecurity, a good guy like you, to actually help the world to move on to do the commercial, the business transaction, and the operation of the government. Yeah, next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. While waiting, in fact, there are multiple different type of vectors of attacks, type of cyber attacks. So to be well versed in cybersecurity, to develop a career, one has to actually understand very well, in fact, what is phishing, how it happened. Man-in-the-middle attack, how IP spoofing typically happens, so that you know how to articulate this. In fact, by the way, one of the main capability of a career for cybersecurity, apart from the knowledge of cybersecurity, of all these different SQL injections, cross-site scripting, so all these different attacks, you need to be able to actually articulate, because you are dealing with business person, you're dealing with the public, the user. So you need to actually be able to actually articulate, okay, what is IP spoofing and how it happened, so that you actually only then your user understand you, and then they'll actually cooperate with you to prevent such things. So we actually seen a lot of people that have good knowledge in cybersecurity, but yet it's a bit of pity because they can't articulate the impact, how it happens, and at the end of the day, their career will not be able to move as fast as those people are who are good in communications. Yeah, I'm not going to into detail of each individual of this cyber attack because I'm sure that you can easily read out all this from Google. Google is available for all this information. Next slide, please. But you see that even during pandemic time, economy slow down. People are saying that actually the livelihood is getting into a bit of challenge. However, you see that comparing 2019 versus 2020, the ransomware attack has grown more than 400%. You probably heard of the Colonial Pipeline. In Malaysia, also you heard of some of the payment gateway company. They actually, or some of the banks you heard that they're having this kind of ransom, and this company, they have millions of dollars of budget into firewalls, into all the whatever endpoint antivirus software, but yet they still get attacked and compromised. There is a reason behind, and that's why a cybersecurity expert like you in future need to actually be able to actually articulate and plan out and show out the risk. Okay, these are the possible loophole that the company should actually look into. Next slide, please. This is what we actually found out. A lot of people immediately thought, cyber attack. I think the most targeted shall be those financial institutions. Reason being, these are the people who have money. Not true. According to the risk statistics, it shows that healthcare industry, because healthcare industry actually contains a lot of healthcare data, the patient records. And compared to many the financial institutions where they were highly regulated by central bank for all the necessities of cybersecurity protections, healthcare industry or like professional services and some of these public sector, they were not as highly regulated as financial institutions. So many organizations do not really put up a lot of emphasis, energy and resources into securing. So from a cyber hacker point of view, these are the low-hanging fruit. It's easier to target at them. And data is the new oil. It is good to sell data. So that's why people are targeting all this industry. And if you were to develop a career, this is something that you actually want to actually consider. Next, please. And over the many years, a lot of people like to say, Hon, I think, can you also actually speak a little bit about artificial intelligence? Honestly, I'm not an expert in artificial intelligence, but I actually can talk about the stupidity of human. So we have seen that many cases, again, despite of millions of dollars of technologies, but yet there are all it takes is just one ignorant user clicking on some of the phishing email, millions of dollars of investment of cybersecurity prevention gone down to the drain. So which is why whoever can solve the problem of human error, that guy will have actually a good career to develop. Next slide, please. Another thing is that we like to talk about security auditor. It's a career that I felt that not many people were talking about it, but it's going to be in high demand. Why? Because you see more and more organizations are adopting various different compliance certification. Like ISO 37000 is one of the most common certification that more and more organizations try to adopt. Next slide, please. And these are the different certifications that require auditor periodically come back to actually see, okay, this is what required by the PCI DSS, the ISO 27000, or the RMIT, the Risk Management of Information Technology by Bank Negara. This is where you are. So they need to do, okay, an auditor will actually able to find where is the gap and provide the report to the authority. So auditor requirement is in high demand because more and more people want to be compliant. Okay, next slide, please. Sorry, thank you. Yeah. And of course, when it comes to cybersecurity, very naturally, people immediately think of pen tester. Yes, it's true. Pen testing services is one of the highly demanded, and many organizations make it either quarterly or half-yearly mandatory requirement to do vulnerability assessment pen test. And to do so, moving forward, people want to see what is your qualification. Some of the qualification that actually I list down here, were highly recommended that after your graduate or during this time, you actually shall start looking into it and explore and possibly getting the certification. OSCP is Offensive Security Certified Professional. This is actually very much focused on penetration tests. CISSP is generally one of the highest recommended, respected certification that if you have one, many organizations will love to hire you. Of course, certified ethical hacker is very much on the, and there's a few level, and the master level will be something that you shall look into. And just now I was talking about ISO to get the audit, to get the auditor status. To be qualified as a security auditor, lead auditor certification for ISO is something that you should go look into. And the world is moving into cloud. So, and organization as our company, you see one of them. Actually, we are looking for certified cloud security professional who are able to help us to actually secure our client on the cloud. And this will be something that will be in demand. Yeah, next slide, please. And of course, when it comes to pen tests, these are typical tools, and the ones will shall actually help to learn to actually be familiar with. Because organization will start when they hire, they'll say, okay, you're a pen tester, right? Okay, what kind of tools that you know how to use? This is number one. Number two is that apart from being able to use these tools, a good pen tester also need to be resourceful to be able to actually look around for other tools, because the best pen testing attitude is that to find whatever it takes to discover the vulnerability of organization, because this is also what a hacker do. So a good pen tester shall actually understand how the hacker behavior, and then you shall mimic and learn, and actually learn the behavior of that to understand your enemy. Next slide, please. Moving forward, after the pen test services, pen test is very targeted. That means, okay, I have this server, these are the IP, these are application. Now at this time, give me the vulnerability scan for that and give me the report for that. That is pen test. But moving forward, organizations are increasingly looking into this concept of red teaming. What is red teaming? Red teaming, in fact, is that a holistically way. I do not really actually specially tell you that these are the range of the IP, these are the server that you need to look into. A red teaming shall actually have a holistic way. Okay, this is the organization. I want to see whether is there any other way I can compromise and get into this organization. That's red teaming to actually, an organization want to do that because they want to understand that, okay, I do not want to just focus on this particular specific area, but I want to know holistically, generally, how my company is performing. Is there any other loophole that the criminal can come in? That's red teaming. And then moving forward, then people talk about blue team. Blue team is more on the defense. Red team is more on the offensive attack. They will see what the hacker is seeing, attacking. And blue team is that, okay, looking into what I have, what I can do to protect. So red team more on attack and blue team more on the protect. But there are also another concept of purple team, which is the combination of red team and blue team, where you holistically look into how attack and how a defense can work together to actually help to secure the company. Yeah. So a pen tester naturally career progression is to look into become a red team specialist. Yeah. Next slide, please. In fact, this year, 2 months ago, Bank Negara came out with a memo urging all financial institutions, the banks and the insurance company, they must conduct at least for the next 12 months, one round of compromise assessment. What is this all about? A lot of people talk about cybersecurity, but hey, we need to do patching. Compromise assessment is about finding what are the machines, what are the areas that has been compromised. Why? Because there's this concept people talk about is assume breach. That means that whatever it is, let's assume our organization has already been breached. So if with this assumption, the next question is that I need to assess which machines, which area that has been compromised. Then I want to do something quickly about it to revamp, to secure, to mitigate. So which is why compromise assessment is another natural progression from becoming a pen tester. Next is to become a compromise assessment specialist. A compromise assessment specialist will be able to actually understand how to do assessment for compromise, how to detect area of compromise, and how to give recommendation for the remediation. Next slide, please. Okay, security analyst is a job that I every now and then I'm looking. I'm hiring. Security analysts conduct. What they do is that they collect data, especially logs, understand to and then find out the vulnerability, find the abnormal and advise customer. Why? Because please click because there's some data here. Yeah, last year alone, within 1 single year, there are 18,000 new vulnerability being discovered. What it means is that imagine almost every half an hour there is new vulnerability being discovered made available to the hackers to compromise you. That's why security analyst role is very crucial. A lot of people do after they do a pen test, they submit a report. They say, "Hey, am I secure now?" In actual fact, is that the real way to actually really find what happened to organization is to have security analysts 24/7 collecting data, because a lot of time a compromise happen not through your vulnerability, but sometimes it's through the legitimate channel. People with the right ID and password, they come in and do something funny. Why? Maybe the user has been compromised. That's why someone else has gotten the login, the legitimate login ID and password, and they come in through a legitimate channel, and that's where security analysts come in to find all these things. Next slide, please. And which is why I want to clear the myth. A lot of organizations that thought, hey, I have got firewall. I think I'm quite secure. But until today, you and I actually have seen why they are still getting compromised. Firewall until today were built, in fact, very good. They have AI features, they have all sorts of interesting advanced features, sandboxing, whatever it is, to actually help organizations to protect outside traffic, malicious traffic trying to come into the organization. But firewall until today were not able to do much on traffic that initiated from within, trying to communicate to outside. Next slide, please. Which is why that explains exactly the reason why the hacker also understand the fact the best way for me to compromise your environment is to send you an email, looks legitimate, like a McDonald's e-voucher or whatever, and let you click on it, and then you initiate the communication, you initiate the activity from within, and it's an encrypted communication to outside. So that's where your firewall say, I can't do much. It's activity initiated from within and it's encrypted. Which is why phishing explain why until today they are the top threat. Next slide, please. So, which is why there is a demand for security operations center, and you start to see, I've been running in cybersecurity SOC industry for quite a long while, but only recently we start to realize even smaller organization, company with man size of maybe 50 people, maybe 100 people, start also, hey, I also want a security operations center. Those days, big banks with thousands of users, only then they talk about security operations center. Security operations center, what they do is that they help you to do, of course, the control of the security status, making sure that your organization comply with all the regulatory requirements, governance, and they're able to look into your vulnerability and manage it. And then they do the monitoring to look for any abnormal behavior. And then when there's anything they need to do, they will actually operate for it in the sense of changing your policies, allowing certain things to happen, patching, and this is the operation. And the most important thing as a security operations center is that when things do happen, when attack happen, you need to provide the response. What are the right response for you to contain the damage, to block the attack? Next slide, please. So we welcome you to actually visit when the MCO is over. This is our security operations center in Bukit Jalil, and in fact, we actually from time to time accept some of the students from Aptitude for our industry trainings. Yeah, next slide, please. So the last one that I like to talk about is that security consultant, the role of a security consultant. Next slide, please. So security knowledge, technical knowledge is important, but the security consultant have the capability to articulate a cyber attack, the impact in a business manner, so that you can actually come up with a security plan, the framework. They're able to ask the questions to the owners, to the enterprise, the entrepreneur, the enterprise. Say, hey, what if there is a fire? What is there flood, cyber attack, virus, thief and hackers. So what if these things happen? They will be able to actually look into all this from the business impact, asking the bosses to actually look into all the different area, and then come out with the framework, which is the next slide, please. A consultant will be able to see communicate with different, from the technology to the business owner to the user. What are the impact? What are the current state? What are the desired state? What are the best practices? What are the compliance required? And list down all the gap. And from there, plan out an action plan. And this is what a consultant's main role is. So a security consultant doesn't necessarily know how to configure a firewall, doesn't necessarily know how to do a forensic, but it's a different kind of expertise as the capability. So cybersecurity career, there are many aspects. It depends on your interest. Is okay, in future, I want to be a pen tester, I want to be an engineer, or I want to be a consultant, or I want to be an auditor. All these, there are different expertise of knowledge, different capabilities, and it depends on your interest. Okay, I want to develop my career in cybersecurity, but I'm more specifically interested into a hacker, a pen tester, or I'm more interested to looking into business, providing the security framework as a consultant. That is a different skill that you can start looking into and start learning. Yeah, with that, I hope I can share some knowledge to you. Apart from all those, in fact, there are a few different type of career that you can look into other than this pen test. There are so wide range of selection. Some people also they work very focused on, I want to actually look into how I help an organization to protect themselves and eventually to become a chief information security officer. Or some people say, no, I want a businessman. I want to start up like me. Actually, I'm interested to be an entrepreneur. I want to start up a cybersecurity company to provide services. Or cyber insurance is in great demand. Are you actually interested to become a risk manager? All this for so many years, we have adjuster for risk analyzer for your fire, for your theft, for your car, for your marine. But is there a risk adjuster, cyber security insurance specialist? Moving forward, just like we were talking about, loss is a lot, there's damage, and cyber insurance will be in great demand. But do we have enough resources and talent to work in the industry of cyber insurance? Of course, very naturally, a lot of people say, okay, I want to be a security engineer. In fact, this is a very cool job as well because it's very highly paid. Or I am more interested in being a salesperson. You can actually be, like me, able to actually articulate a solution and propose to a customer and get revenue. And this is my last slide. In fact, I actually start to realize that a lot of organizations are talking about the technical engineer, but there is not many people are able to actually become a security solution architect. What it means is that we say organization like us, a service provider like us, we actually highly require a solution architect where they can understand all the various different aspects of solution in the market, and then also understand very well about the customer requirement, and then they can come back based on the requirement and the pain point, work out the total solution to solve the customer problem. This is what a solution architect do. And a lot of vendors, big brands like FireEye, Symantec, Tramago, these people require solution architect because they need your capability to articulate your solution and how it helps to actually solve the customer problem. And of course, I don't talk much about cyber forensic specialists because I think Dr. Julia was talking about it. With that, I like to actually end my sharing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hon. That was a very, very informative session to get to know about the various roles, the various job prospects for cybersecurity and digital forensics graduates. So moving on, we are a premier digital tech university. This is a status given to us by MDEC, which basically puts us as a top league university in Malaysia to offer digital tech programs, right? Now, what does that mean to you as a student who were to join us in this university? It basically means lots of boot camps, a lot of free trainings, a lot of engagement by MDEC and the industry to provide seminars, workshops, guest lecture series, etc. So that kind of exposure you get while you're doing your studies with us is tremendous, right? So that's the good part there. Where the next slide, please. Where our school is concerned, I think I'm going to go really rush through these slides because Dr. Julia needs to talk about the various programs. So these are the various programs that we have. Next one, please. Right. So our USP is basically the fact that very, very strong industry collaboration, whether it's Cybersecurity Malaysia, whether it's KPMG, whether it's Cybertest, Tech4Te, Rochester, F-Secure, etc. They conduct these intervarsity competitions on an annual basis for us. They capture the flag monthly trainings we offer, the lecturers offer to our students to prepare them for these competitions. We've got a full-fledged cybersecurity talent zone, which Dr. Julia is going to cover soon. And of course, we've got a forensics and cybersecurity research center. We have our programs in both the degree and at the master's level as well. Our certified teaching staff, whether it's from PGI UK, ISACA, whether it's Cisco CCNA, whether it's an ethical hacker from EC Council, or Rochester RCCE, we have our staff very well qualified, very well certified to be teaching on this program. And over to you, Dr. Julia. Next slide, please.
Okay, thank you, Supriya. So the programs that we offered in APU, basically we have 3 programs or 3 courses here, which are consisting of Bachelor of Computer Science, Cybersecurity, Bachelor of Computer Science, Digital Forensic, and also Bachelor of Information Technology and Information System Security. And these 3 programs are specifically designed to provide the students with the ability to develop your technical knowledge, skills, and background in designing and organizing the computer system, focusing on cybersecurity and information system security. So to look at few of the modules that we covered, basically look at the example under the Bachelor of Computer Science, Cybersecurity, we have Security and Forensic Technologies, we have Practical CTF. So CTF means capture the flags. So basically there are games where hackers have to find bugs and solve puzzles to find flags, and then bits of data that telling you that the system has been compromised, and then you getting the points by solving all those solutions and so on. So you get that from your practical CTF strategies module. And then we also have deep learning and intrusion detection. We have advanced cybersecurity modules where we discuss mostly on the latest case studies on the cyber attacks that happen all around the world. We have the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing where you learn on various tools that you can use in order to perform pen tests, and also vulnerability assessment, as been mentioned by Mr. Hon just now, and also advanced software security module where you get to find the vulnerabilities that occur in your programs or in your system, and you try your best to find the solution for those bugs. Okay, and a few of the career options, but not limited to what being listed, are cybersecurity consultant or specialist, cybersecurity incident response analyst, cyber threat intelligence advisor, and definitely penetration tester. Okay, moving on. So we also have the IT, Bachelor of IT Specialism in Information System Security. So among the modules that you're going to go through, the ethical hacking and incident response, network security, wireless and mobile security, computer system security, database security, and again, penetration testing. So the career option will be about the similar, because most of the modules that are being covered for these 3 programs are about similar. Okay, just that during your level 1 and level 2 of studies, it might be more general modules, but when you move to your level 3, it will be more specific or specialized modules focusing on which specialisms that you choose to further your study in. Moving on. Yeah, and the final course that we have is the Bachelor of Computer Science Specialism in Digital Forensics. These are only the courses under undergraduate studies. We also have, of course, the master program. But for the undergraduate programs, we have these 3 programs. And moving on, what being listed in the slides over there are the specialized modules or subjects that are going to be covered basically during your level 2 and level 3 of studies. So if you choose to go and pursue your studies in digital forensics, definitely you get to know on the advanced forensic methods, more on mobile forensics, the Android analysis, legal and professional practice in cyber world, and deep learning in intrusion and detection. And the career options are as listed: digital forensic investigator, cyber defense forensic analysis, but not limited to what being listed. All right, next. So in APU, we have our own APU cybersecurity talent zone. And these APU cybersecurity talent zone is actually a clear and perfect example of how APU collaborates closely with the industry leading organizations. It's being mentioned by Supriya just now, to expose the students to the best in class technologies. Okay, the zone was launched back in 2018 by the Minister of Communication and Multimedia, Gobind Singh Dio, back that time, and also established under heavy support of our industry partners, Tech Forte, Cyber System, Cisco, MDEC. And this zone basically features a fully functional security operations center, okay, a full-fledged cyber range, Cisco Networking Academy and Lab, Center for Research and Development in IoT Credit, and also the Forensic and Cybersecurity Research Center. So moving on, just to cover a bit on Security Operations Center and Cisco Networking Academy. So the SOC, sorry, the previous slide, Brian. Yeah. The SOC, basically our students, whoever pursue their studies in cybersecurity, forensic or information system security, you guys will be given 1 semester or basically 50 hours to experience the life as a tier 1 SOC security analyst, sorry. So what you guys will do is to monitor, you guys get the time and also being given the whole semester to monitor and analyze the real network traffic within a real SOC infrastructure. And this program is basically aims to equip the students with industry-like experience in cybersecurity operation for better career readiness and employability. Okay, and once you have completed the 50 hours, the certificate of completion will be provided by our industry partner, Tech Forte. In terms of Cisco, we have our Cisco Networking Academy lab, okay, with the collaboration with Cisco. This lab is built to provide hands-on experience, definitely to gain more practical experience and industry practices in computer networking. Okay, the lab is equipped with routers, switches, and definitely commercial software provided by Cisco in order for you or students to design, to simulate, to test, to monitor, and manage the computer networks. Okay, and this lab also is being used by the Cisco Networking Academy program in order to equip the students with hands-on digital skills training. All right, moving on. Here are some of the competitions, okay, cybersecurity competition that APU students have involved with. Okay, so over the years, APU has secured more than 200 awards at local, regional, and international level. So these awards serve as acknowledgements of the achievement of APU and our students. And among of the best achievement, APU became the champion of the EY Cybersecurity Hackathon back in March 2019 in Hong Kong. And then what else? We also become the champion of the Cyber Heroes competition back in 2019. We are the first runner-up of the and also the champion of the App Secure for 3 years in a row. App Secure. Next, KPMG, we able to secure the first runner-up, the top University Award, definitely the champion for 2018 and also 2019 Cybersecurity Challenge. Next. And we also but into AI and also data analytics as well. So you can see that Team PAS Killer Bot in the slides beating up few of other countries, and we became the global champion for the Atos IT Challenge. We also won the regional cyber challenge organized by SilentSec and Cyber 8 Labs Australia. Okay, we got the champion, we got the first runner up. Moving on. And we also, APU also able to secure the awards of Cybersecurity Excellence Award for 3 years in a row, 2019, 2020, and 2021 as the cybersecurity, best cybersecurity education provider in Asia. And I think among other achievement that we able to achieve in the year of 2021, the latest one will be one of our team students and also the lecturers from APU able to get champion for the Cisco National Packet Tracer Challenge in the year of 2021. And this is the Best Cybersecurity Education Provider Awards that I mentioned just now for 2021. All right, so that will be all coming from my side. Thank you very much for listening to our webinar today.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Ryan.
you. Thank you, Miss Supriya. Thank you, Dr. Julia, and thank you, Mr. Hon. We have a few questions from the comments. Maybe I can pause it out here, so maybe you can answer some of them. Okay. Uh, One of the question here is that as a foreigner who are studying for master in cybersecurity, what's the likelihood of getting employed in Malaysia? Yeah.
In fact, I used to actually communicate with some of the authority here. I think that we need to actually justify, and we need to show that the capability of this kind of people, this kind of talent, were not able to find in Malaysia. Then it's easier for us to justify for the working visa.
Okay. All right. I think there's one question here is quite interesting. This is some question that we always get asked. Whether the cybersecurity expert, they have to work in the midnight, rush back to office because of emergency cases. Is this happening a lot of
Yeah,
times?
unfortunately, for some of the organization in the early stage of their business development, yes, because of the lack of skill of people, so ended up some of the people have to actually work even after their office hours. But as an organization grow, they actually have a proper SOPs that okay, during this hour, these are the people who are in charge that you can call. After that, you can take a rest. The second team will come out. So it depends on individual company the way they structure their workforce and the responsibility to deliver a job. Yeah.
I see. All right, all right. The next question maybe can Miss Supriya can help to answer. Like this is a lot of students they will ask, before I join this kind of cybersecurity or digital forensic or any IT degree, do I need to have any programming skills? Do I need to learn any programming before that? Will it be like
Yeah.
compulsory?
Yeah, Ryan, a very, very common question
Yep.
everyone's asked time and again, not just for cybersecurity, but even for the other IT and the software engineering programs. The whole idea is that in our degree program, which starts from
Mm-mm.
degree level 1, level 2, level 3, right? We have programming modules embedded right through. The first
Mm.
programming module would be uh, using Python, right? Fundamentals
Yep.
using Python. Now, no prerequisites are required. We don't expect students to come with any prerequisite knowledge in programming or in pseudocodes or in flowcharts, nothing at all. So when we take in students in degree level 1, semester 1, we expect them not to have any background, and that's how slow and steady we get on to teaching them all the various programming languages. So rest assured, everyone, no prerequisites required. You can join our cybersecurity program or digital forensics without any of those behind you. All right.
Okay. And for next question, I believe this is for some of the students or even a working adult, where if they are already doing some other software program, IT program, but they are looking to going working in cybersecurity career. What is the biggest gap, or how difficult for them to go into cybersecurity career?
Okay, let me take this question because let me give you a very good example. My chief technology officer, CTO, is a guy called Anthony. He studied in UTM building material. And,
Oh.
and after he graduated, he became a project manager until he's 30 years old. Suddenly he want to achieve, okay, I want to achieve involve cybersecurity industry. So he starts from scratch again, because started off as a security analyst in the security operations center, slowly learn how to be a pen test, Today,
Wow.
he's my chief technology officer. He's about
Wow.
44, 45 years old. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that is a very good example to say that, hey, at the end of the day, it's the personal interest to
Passion.
become, the passion to learn. And he's like
Absolutely.
CISSP, CISM. So he have all the certification, but his graduate very funny. He's UTM materials, building material and project manager.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I think this is a very good example because
Yes.
a lot of students or even working adult, they are worried that if I going to change my career pathway, if I want to do this, do that, will it be very difficult? Maybe no lah. I think very difficult is that. So I think don't worry, there is always like a pathway for you to go, but just whether you're going to take the step or not to change it, right? Yeah, I think okay. There's maybe we can take one last questions. About maybe some example tasks of cybersecurity and what digital forensic do. I think we talk about it during the sessions, but maybe
Yeah.
we can
Please
say
cover.
one or two examples to differentiate lah, the difference of cybersecurity and digital forensic. And actually, we do get some of the questions like whether if I study in a degree or a master's in cybersecurity, can I do digital forensic work? Or if I study in digital forensic, can I do cybersecurity work? This is sometimes the question that we may get. Yeah.
Dr. Julia, you or Mr. Han?
Mr. Hon, if you want
Uh,
to proceed.
yes. I thought the jury, expert on that. So anyway, to me, to simplify how I see between the forensic versus the cybersecurity was that what Dr. Julia said is quite correct. Is that one focuses on the prevention. How do I implement security framework? Security. How do I prevent cyber attack from happen? That is cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Forensic is that now I have got compromised. What do I do? So, do I want to find out how it happened? How can I? Who is the culprit? So that I can learn from it. So that I can prevent from it. Also, I can pick up some of this evidence. Maybe I want to do some legal action on this. So the biggest difference to me is one is pre-attack, one is post-attack.
Correct. Yeah, I do agree with Mr. Hon.
Yeah.
So digital forensic basically deals with aftermath of the incident. Okay, you need to investigate what happened and so on. And cybersecurity is more focused on the prevention and detection of the attacks before that you design in order to secure the system. Yep, agree.
All right. Yeah, I think that's all for the questions for now. All right. Thank you again for to Miss Supriya. Thank you, Mr. Hon. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Julia, for
you.
joining us for the sessions. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much. It's an
again.
honor.
Thank
Everyone,
you.
bye-bye.
A
Thank
pleasure.
you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be end of the sessions, and we're going to have a next sessions is talking about business management studies. So the topic will be business with a technology edge, gain your competitive advantage. All right, that will be at 12 p.m. So if you're interested, do stay tuned and follow us on the Facebook or YouTube channel, and you can actually join the session later at 12 p.m. for the business studies webinar. But of course, we will have another three more webinar after the business studies, which is in AR/VR at 2 p.m. Talking about actual studies at 3:30 p.m. and also career in game design and development at 5 p.m. All right, so stay tuned. Okay. Thank you very much for all of you joining, and thank you. Bye bye.